Hello, welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, I'm wearing clothes. I'm wearing a red velvet t-shirt. Red Velvet, the K-pop group. Um, anyway, I saw the funniest thing. God, I don't remember where I saw it, so I'm just gonna say the internet because what I don't watch TV. Anyway, apparently, there's a women's prison in New Jersey where two of the women got pregnant by, they called them transgender inmates, aka men. There's 800 women, or roughly 800 women in the prison, like a little bit over 800 women in the prison, and there's 27 men in the prison. Or, as they call them, transgendered women, but they're men. They have, you know, the um, proper genitalia, and they have the XY chromosome, so they're men. Um, I just think it's funny. Like I didn't know men could go to women's prisons. That's what that's the real news story, you know. And I bet you'll never see a woman go to a men's prison. But anyway, so basically, there's 30 dudes in this New Jersey women's prison. I mean, that is just ridiculous. Uh, I don't understand how this is allowed. Now, at the same time, I understand maybe, you probably wouldn't want them in a men's prison either. Like, you'd probably have to have a separate prison for these people with this particular mental disability, this mental disorder. Seriously. Because if you put these 27 men in a men's prison, I don't know what would happen to them, but I'm sure it wouldn't be good. And then if you put them in a women's prison, well, you see what happens to them. They get inmates pregnant because they're men. Uh, the the problem is, well, it's not a problem, but you know, you get arrested and then you go, well, I identify as a woman, so they send you to a women's prison. I mean, it's that simple. I saw a picture of one of the inmates who got one of the chicks pregnant. Well, it's alleged because whatever. But anyway, it looked like a dude with nice eyebrows. It looked like a guy. I mean, this is the picture I saw. I guess it was taken from like the prison, like a prison security cam. But you could see the guy. It looks like a guy with who got his eyebrows done. I mean, if that makes you a woman, then okay, I guess. You know, um, people are weird. Anyway, what you really have to do is you just have to make a separate, just a separate thing, because for some reason these people with the mental disorders are allowed to run the country and make up all these crazy rules. So yeah, I just feel bad for the women. Like, imagine like you're a chick, whatever. Like, you steal a car, okay? You go to jail. Okay, so now it's bad enough you're doing like whatever 5 years in jail. You're you're in jail now with guys, you know, and imagine being a woman and then like, okay, your cellmate's a dude. That's just weird. That is just so weird. But that's the world we live in. But also, even though it's messed up and on all sorts of different levels, uh, we like, let's don't pretend that people in prison have rights or treated good. So it's almost just like another form of the punishment. It's not like it's a picnic being in prison. So you know If you're a chick that's going to prison, well, you're going to be in there with dudes. That's just how it is, I guess. I mean, like, I'm not outraged. I don't even care. I just think it's funny. But there are some people who are outraged that like they have men in prison. But then there's the other side to it where people are outraged. Well, no, they're not men. They're actually women. well then how did well then how does a woman get another woman pregnant? You know, just makes no sense. But it's just another example of this clown world we live in. Society has gone to hell. You got first world problems as a nation where you have to make up problems. Like, let's make life more complicated by by somehow forgetting the difference between men and women. Like, let's just make shit up. That's where America is right now. We're literally making up bullshit. You don't have a cause to fight for? Well, how about men being able to go to women's prison? I mean, how about transgendered? I confuse women. Is it whatever? Whatever. The fact that it's difficult to say means it's just it's not natural. You're a woman. You're being sentenced, and part of your plea deal is um, you want to go to a women's jail that doesn't allow men. That's part of your plea deal. You turn over state's evidence. I'm only doing this because you promise I won't have a male cellmate. oh Lord. I mean, like, why don't we just make it so that when like a woman gets stopped by the cops and for some reason they have to frisk her, you just have a male cop do it because it's just like a woman doing it. And also, when I'm stopped by a cop, I want a woman to pat me down. Can I make that request? I identify as a woman now. I want to be patted down by a chick. And then when she pats me down, I'm gonna tell her, yeah, like I keep all the drugs in my vagina. You're gonna have to really, really look. No, no, that's a vagina. Trust me. Yes, yes, that's a vagina. hmm why do I talk with this deep voice? Um, are you being a transphobe? How dare you? I'm gonna get you fired from your job. It's just goddamn ridiculous. Oh, so I saw. There is no segue. I'm just talking. So I saw um, the people in charge of Twitter. I guess the board. They don't want Elon Musk to buy Twitter. You know Elon Musk. Oh yeah. If you don't know, Elon Musk is trying to buy Twitter. Elon Musk owns, I think, 9% of Twitter stock, and he offered to buy Twitter for, I believe it was 48. Um, was it 48.5 billion? I could be off, but I'm pretty sure it was like $48 billion. Okay, to buy Twitter, and by doing that, he was buying it at a premium because he was because whatever. Let's just say he bought the stocks at $20. He was buying it as if the stocks cost like $40, something like that, or like $30. The number's not exactly right, which means you got to do your own research. Remember, when I talk and throw out numbers, do your own research. This I'm just being entertaining, but do your own research on this stuff. Anyway, and also I'm doing this by memory. Also, I'm high right now. Oh my god, I've been inhaling. I don't know what this crap is, but not myself. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, the board, the Twitter board, the magistrates, the dictators, the tyrants, the civil lawsuit takers, those guys, um, they don't want the CEO and his staff, whatever. They don't want Elon Musk to buy Twitter because Twitter is and we all know what Twitter is. It's a leftist megaphone. Um, there's plenty of shadow bans and people kicked off who don't agree with the message. That's all Twitter is. That's why they don't want Twitter to be bought and made private because, you know, if free speech is allowed on Twitter, well, you can't suppress information about certain things like laptops. You know what I'm saying? So it's a risky move from Elon because uh, to me this is on the scale of like Epstein, where like if Epstein had all this insider information and all this you know bad stuff on other people, so he got off. Okay, so if Elon Musk owns Twitter, he's gonna know all the ins and outs of what they're hiding, and he can show proof that certain things happened. Because there's certain people on who work for Twitter who were questioned by Congress that Twitter doesn't shadow ban people, and basically they lied to Congress. So if Elon is in charge, he gets all the information, and powerful people can get in trouble. But also, the board, the CEOs of Twitter, they also have a duty to the stockholders that they have to do whatever is best for them to make them the most money. So by Elon Musk offering to buy the company, it's actually beneficial to all the stockholders, despite what the board, the CEOs, the kings and queens, the pit boss that runs Twitter. So the stockholders could actually band together and force them to sell. I mean, it's complicated. You need a business degree to read the National Enquirer these days. I don't know what I'm talking about. You know, I got a copy of People magazine in the mail today. I was holding it upside down. You know why? Because I don't know how to read. I literally just make shit up as I go. But anyway, um, but anyway, I don't think he's gonna actually be able to buy Twitter because they're not gonna let him. But I do. I mean, he can buy more stock. I mean, he can just keep buying stock. But I don't know if he wants to continue with that. But anyway, you won't know what happens until it happens. So hopefully, um, I mean, once again, it's another thing I don't care. I have to stop pretending I care. I don't even use Twitter. I had a Twitter account um, years ago, and I it probably had, I don't know, a couple thousand tweets, right? Most of the tweets were me roasting my roommates or bitching about someone or talking about some girl or talking about how I'm following some chick home, I'm hiding behind a bush, like just weird stuff like that. Or like yeah, or like oh god, my roommate came home drunk at 3 a.m. and she pounced on me. How come she doesn't like me when she's sober? Um, like just lots of posts about my roommate being hot or like, you know, having sex with insert some random roommate name here and there. Bagging on someone, just ranting, complaining, like just bitching about people's odious personal habits. Um, I remember my roommate had a kid, and man, there was like a good 8 months where every third post on my Twitter was about flushing the baby down the toilet or throwing it away in the trash can, or just going postal and massacring everyone in sight. Like I probably have more tweets about telling a baby to shut up than anyone else on the planet. You know, and I also have a lot of tweets going, "Hey, it's not my kid, okay? It's not my kid." You believe me, right? Anyway, the and then and I remember back then when I was using Twitter, For some reason, I was following everyone in My Chemical Romance and everyone in Sum 41. I don't know why, but I just was. I just was. And it was so, and I'm lying when I say this, interesting. Wow, you guys are awesome. So I made a new Twitter account recently because I was getting tired of sexually harassing women with my old Twitter, so I made a new one. And it coincides with this YouTube channel because sometimes I don't, you know, I mean, like rarely, rare, rare. It's hard to talk when you're huffing paint. Wow. Sorry, I'm not myself right now. I'm a bit of a thing. Sorry. Um, what I use Twitter now for, because I made a new Twitter just because I figured I didn't want to have my like a Twitter where all my posts were about doing my roommate, being drunk, complaining about the price of Coke, you know, you know, being racist, you know. So I made a new Twitter, and I rarely use it. The only thing I do on this Twitter is I follow a bunch of VTubers. Okay, follow a bunch of VTubers, follow a handful of porn stars, follow a handful of thirst trap chicks, um, and follow a handful of Rule 34, Elden Ring, um, Final Fantasy 7 artist. Yeah. So I'm being a sound citizen with my new Twitter, because it's nothing but real porn, fake internet personalities. Oh, and a couple chicks on OnlyFans. Basically, I'm using the internet for sexual gratification. You know what I'm saying? Because like on Twitter, if you like something, everyone can see what you like. So I want some random person to click on my profile and just get grossed out, like, oh my god, whoa, this guy keeps liking the weirdest stuff. Oh my god, what are those tentacles doing? So like I'm not even using Twitter for the right thing. I'm using Twitter to make people go, what the what? You know, I'm all about the what the fuck moment. That's my favorite moment in life, is the what the fuck moment, because you're never gonna forget that moment. You're like, whoa, whoa, put that hot dog down there, buddy. Hey, hey, easy. Is that a chinchilla? It better be. I love those what the fuck moments. Those moments make life great. So like, imagine going on Twitter, you know, you somehow see me post something. You're like, whoa, this guy likes a lot of weird shit. See, once again, I'm using something for all the wrong reasons. So I guess um, I guess that's a character flaw of mine. You know, I don't know, but yeah. So like, I guess I probably, well, it doesn't matter. I was gonna say, like, I should probably start using Twitter the proper way. Like who gives a fuck? Anyway, I hope Elon Musk does actually get to go through with the purchase of Twitter, though, because unlike the trad cucks and the leftists and the normies and the plebs and the people who ask OnlyFans chicks, how high should I jump? Um, the average person doesn't use Twitter. Like, I'm actually the average person. Now I know. How many times on this podcast have I talked about something weird? Well, the average person's weird, okay? Like, I'm not the outlier. Trust me, okay? I've seen some shit. Okay? But I've seen it because other people were doing it. Okay? That's why I've seen it. Yeah, it's like that. Anyway, guys, I'm getting lightheaded, so I'm going to take a break. Any comments or questions, let me know. I'll respond to you. You guys have a good one. Peace.